Hello everybody, hello my student. I'm teacher Arid with you. Let's continue our unit, which is unit 8, and start our lesson today, stories of imagination. Today inshallah we will talk about 2 grammar rules. They are very important and you need it in English usually. So we will talk today about the second conditional. What do we mean by that and why we use it? Look at these sentences, underline if and the verbs. First of all, if Sindbad's monsters really existed, the world would be a scary place. 2. I would be very stupid if I believed the stories about Sindbad. 3. If Sindbad were alive today, he would probably travel in a spaceship. 4. If I could write well, I'd write stories for children. The first one, what is the if and where are the verbs? If here and the verbs in number 1 existed and the verb to be. Then in number 2 also we have would be, the if and believed. This is the second verb. In number 3 also if, and we have the verb where, and it is abbreviation for would, so this one is would travel. For number 4 I have if here, could write, I would write, or I'd write. These are the verbs. Okay, here we have questions about the rule, about this second conditional, and about the sentences. Are the sentences in exercise 2A about real situations or imaginary situation or ones? Please think about it until we answer it. Are the sentences about the past, the present, or the future? Is the word if always at the beginning of the sentence? Let's see. For the first one, when we are talking about Sindbad, all of us we know that it is an imaginary situation. Then, when we are saying if Sindbad that and would kada, this one we call it present. And is the word if always at the beginning? No, sometimes if is in the middle of the sentence. So I can put the word if in the middle, and also I can put it at the beginning. Okay. Question number 4. What form of the verb is used after if? So what is the form? What form of the verb is used in the other half of the sentence? This is number 5. And number 6, what does the construction I'd stand for? The letter D here, it stands for what? I will answer it with you now. The first one, it is in the past simple. The form of the verb is used after if, past simple. And what form of the verb is used in the other half of the sentence? Now, if I start at the beginning of the sentence, it is a clause, the if clause. The other clause I will have would plus the base form of the verb. So, if I study by heart, I would speak English fluently. What does the contraction I'd stand for? This letter D, and with this semicolon up, means I would. And we make abbreviation. Instead of writing all of this word, I will put only the letter D. Okay, again, please check your answers. Imaginary situations, write it in your book. The present, no, sometimes, if is in the middle of the sentence. The past simple, the other clause, we use would plus the base form of the verb. And the final question, I would. Okay, let's see here. We have sentences and we want to write it very clear sentences. We are talking about second conditional. Write second conditional sentences using these sequences of words and phrases. So we will use these words and phrases to make very nice second conditional. 1. If I dash speak dash perfect English dash I start learn French. Number 2. I take Chinese classes if I have a perfect command of English and French. 3. If more people help their neighbors, the world be a better place. If I can go to the moon, I do it. Let's see the correct forms. The first one will be, if I spoke, do you see I put it in the past, perfect English, I would start to learn French. 2. I would take Chinese classes if I had a perfect command of English. So do you see here? I put it in the past, and if here it is in the middle, if here it is at the beginning, and you can see here that if I put would, I must put the verb in what? In the base form. Don't need of any additional thing. Number 3, if more people help their neighbors, the world would be better, a better place. And number 4, if I could go to the moon, I would do. Here you can add whatever you want. I will read the conversation, make it as an exercise after you read the grammar rule. Complete these sentences with your own ideas. Compare your sentences. If I could go anywhere in the world, we can complete it. If I space have any job in the world, that and that. What space you do if you space a lot of money in a competition. And if I found 400 Saudi riyals under a restaurant table, we can say I would tell the manager or the waiter, something like this. Okay, now the other rule here, it is a grammar rule about clauses of result. What is this and why we use it? In the listening, a speaker said, algebra developed because, please, anything that when you see something with bold, you know that it is something important. Of the need to solve a religious issue. We can rephrase this and say. So what's the meaning of rephrasing? It is the same sentence, but in another shape. I can say, there was a need to solve a religious issue. So I start from the second clause. So So did you see? I use so here. Algebra developed. The first one, it is with because. The second one with so. Then, there was a need to solve a religious issue as a result. Do you see? Instead of so, instead of because, I put here as a result, algebra developed. Then, algebra developing is a result. Here I put result of the need to solve an issue. There are other expressions too. So here we use as a result, and the one before we use because and so. Also, in additional to this, we can use therefore, and we can use consequence and consequently. So, therefore, beginning of a sentence used at the beginning of the sentence and not as a conjunction here, and as a consequence, same as a result, and consequently. There are other expressions too. I will check it with you. Therefore, please circle in your book as a sequence and consequently. Okay, algebra developed because of the need to solve a religious issue. What did I do here? This is the first clause and this is the second clause. So, I started here with the second one. There was a need to solve a religious issue, so I took number one and put it in the second part. So algebra developed. Next, with as a result. Also, I start with number two. There was a need to solve a religious issue. As a result, algebra developed. Here we have sentences, and we want look at these clauses and make sentences using the expressions. On the left, use a different expression for each one. I will read it, then we will make it with each other by adding the expressions. Ashraf studied very hard for years. He was able to pass the exam. 2. Yusuf got up late this morning. He was late for school. 3. Russia helped her mother yesterday. Her mother thanked her. 4. Safa doesn't like bananas very much. She doesn't eat the more. Okay. Let's see here. Number 1. I will use as a result. Ashraf studied very hard for years. As a result, he was able to pass the exam. 2. Yusuf got up late this morning, so he was late for school. 3. Russia helped her mother yesterday. As a sequence, her mother thanked her. 4. Therefore, Safa doesn't like bananas very much. She doesn't eat them often. 5. Walid is good at maths. Consequently, he will probably become a bank worker. So all of these words which are in the red color, we consider it as what? We consider it as the clause words. Thank you for your watching. I hope you enjoy it. Your teacher, Region Maddah. Best wishes.